take a toll on your home. When they do, trust the team at Absolute Restoration for roofing, water damage, and mold remediation. 662-760-4348.
Buy it room to room and get a vacation for two. Qualifying purchases take home a trip to Las Vegas or Orlando, or get a 5-night cruise, plus 50% off furniture and mattresses and 5 years special financing only at Room to Room Tupelo. Happy birthday, America.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 9.
Good evening and welcome in here to Mississippi Live Weather at 9. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard. As you can see, the jacket is on, and that means temperatures have gotten better. But my word, was it a toasty afternoon. Looking at those high temperatures, we reached 94 degrees Tupelo, Houston, and even out there towards Tunica. I'm trying to see, yes, 95 Vernon and Aliceville, and our winter, you want to call it that, was 96 in Columbus. Nonetheless, it was hot today. It was muggy. It was miserable. And the same can be said for our Tuesday. Heat advisories continue. In fact, going to get a few degrees higher than what it was today. So all the more reason to stay hydrated and stay cool. Some isolated rain chances that could bring some relief for some tomorrow. Becoming a bit more widespread as the week goes on, but even then, still pretty isolated in the grand scheme of things. And a few showers possible for the 4th. We're going to be looking at that 4th of July weekend, our holiday weekend forecast, because I know not everybody launches fireworks on Saturday, so whenever you're planning to launch, we'll look at the best days to do so coming up here at 9 o'clock. The first 12 were 82 degrees at 10, 78 by 1, and some relief heading into that morning commute, sitting in the mid-70s, so that's why, we can put the jackets on. Our air conditioner can finally breathe a little bit as it's catching up. But then the grind continues again tomorrow. 90 degrees already by 10 a.m. Wrap your mind around that, only going up from there. We're talking upper 90s. Heading into tomorrow afternoon. So today, it's going to feel like a winter day compared to what we'll get tomorrow. I'm just joking. It's a little bit of an extreme. 81 degrees in Aberdeen, feels like 90, so it is still going to be toasty. It's still going to be muggy even into those overnight hours, but luckily taking a bit of a step back. Winona coming in 81 degrees right now, and it's feeling like 88. And as we continue to look across our camera network here in North Mississippi, New Albany coming in with a beautiful clear sky and plenty of warm weather as well. This is what we're going to continue to watch as we head into those overnight hours. But what we're also seeing are the heat advisories continuing here across North Mississippi, and that is going to stay in place until Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And we'll continue to see that extreme heat watch in place until Thursday at 8. And what the extreme heat watch is basically a heat advisory or an extreme heat warning, something that they'll continue to iron out as we get into our forecast tomorrow. And that is something that we'll continue to update you guys on as we approach our Tuesday night and Wednesday morning as well. But like we mentioned, current temperatures across the region, 85 degrees Holly Springs and Boonville, 87 New Albany, 87 towards Belzona, and even seeing 82 Louisville and Starkville. Feels like values. Still talking 102 feels like values down there in Stark Vegas. So stay hydrated even after the sun does set. 98 Tupelo and Amory, 99 towards Greenville and Clarksdale. So not much relief overnight, but it does feel a little bit better compared to what we've been getting so far throughout our Monday. If we're talking active pattern, yes, it's active with the heat, but up north, they're actually seeing a severe weather pattern with a tornado watch, including a few tornado warnings being issued towards northwest Minnesota. So we're continuing to pray for folks up there as they continue to be impacted, but impacts are still felt here in North Mississippi. We're going to continue to monitor that heat as we get into our Tuesday, as that not only plays a factor, but gets even worse into our Tuesday. Let's track out Futurecast here, and you can see that we remain dry overnight. And this is going to be a theme as we approach the rest of our overnight hours and even into our Tuesday morning. High pressure remaining the story and kind of cycling in that southerly wind, and that's going to be where that Gulf moisture does come from, and even adds to a few of those pop-up showers by the afternoon. So this is going to be something to monitor heading into our Tuesday afternoon. And Futurecast unfortunately cuts off here, but coming up in the next 60 seconds, we're going to be able to track out those limited rain chances into the afternoon. This is something we were picking up on at 5 and 6. How that has prevailed with our latest model runs, that's something we'll look at together. Something fun at 9 o'clock that we're able to do is as that model run comes out, we're able to assess that together and look at the latest trends. So yes, limited chances tomorrow, but overall that coverage very, very small. Sunny skies still remaining the story. And temperature-wise, That's really the big story, the big headline heading into our Tuesday, with 98 degrees possible for some spots, including some areas flirting with the triple digits. Coming up in the next 60 seconds, we're looking at that entire high temperature forecast for not just our Tuesday, but our Wednesday, how that carries over into our 4th of July weekend, and what we're going to see rain chance wise as well across this 7-day stretch. That all coming up. It's Mississippi Live Weather at 9 continues right after the break.
At Vibe Aesthetics and Wellness, we believe confidence isn't just how you look, it's how you feel. From subtle, natural aesthetics to personalized wellness care, everything we do is intentional. This is beauty with purpose. At Vibe Men's Health, we take that same approach. We focus on what matters most: strength, energy, and performance. Built on real data, real medicine, and real results, we're here to help you look better, feel stronger, and live fully. Come vibe with us today.
Hi, I'm Mississippi Live Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. Reserve your St. Jude Dream Home giveaway ticket by July 31st, and you'll be eligible to win the house and the early bird prize, a $10,000 gift card to Brooks Grocery. Visit dreamhome.org to reserve your ticket for $100 and help St. Jude Children's Research Hospital continue its life-saving work. Then watch Mississippi Live on October 29th to see who wins the house and the other prizes. Reserve your ticket today.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
So our 7-day forecast is going to be toasty. Point blank simple, that's the forecast heading over this 7-day stretch. But we do have some momentary relief moving in by Wednesday, even by the latter part of the week with some isolated showers. What does that mean? Well, rain-cooled relief, that's what it means. And those rain showers that pop up are going to bring some of that rain-cooled air, and that might drop those temperatures a little bit, or a few degrees. That'll make it a little bit more bearable outside. Across the area right now, we're seeing some form or fashion of heat-related concern as we go into our Tuesday. Where we're seeing that area of orange, that's a heat advisory in place until 9 o'clock on our Tuesday, and that does include our northernmost counties. We just have a different shade of red there because National Weather Service in Memphis is indicating that we're going to have some form of either a heat advisory or an extreme heat warning getting into our Wednesday and potentially our Thursday. And so they're electing to go ahead and put out an extreme heat watch, and that's in place until Thursday evening to accommodate for either the heat advisory or extreme heat warning that we'll hopefully get a little bit more of a judgment call on as we get further into our forecast tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked if it went either direction. It really depends on what county you're at. And we'll look at those heat indices in just a moment, but you can get a visual. We're talking 105 plus, not just Tuesday, not just Wednesday, not just Thursday, carrying over all the way into our 4th of July weekend. So water, water, water. I'm emphasizing that heading into a holiday weekend because I know a few folks don't like to drink that much water as we approach the weekend. So please stay hydrated. Unfortunately, heat-related deaths are the highest in America, and we do see an incline in those as we approach the holiday weekends because folks having fun and unfortunately not drinking the right beverages. So please drink plenty of water heading over this next 7-day stretch. Our Mama Justice Doppler radar staying dry right now. We are seeing clear conditions across North Mississippi. I know you see that little green dot over there around Senatobia, but I promise you all of that moisture is staying elevated, and any moisture in our atmosphere is going to be in the form of humidity and mugginess. So as you see there, already moving off screen once we go to a closer radar site. So again, everything elevated, no chance of rainfall tonight. Once we look up north, you can see severe thunderstorm watch, including a tornado watch in place for parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, far away from us here in North Mississippi. We did have a few thunderstorms out there in the Carolinas, including a few storms actually back here towards Texas. Those were starting to flare up and become on the stronger side, but here in North Mississippi, not our concern. We're kind of out of that spring severe weather season, and so those severe weather risk areas starting to shift a little bit more towards the Midwest. Not saying it's impossible, but ours is more of those spotty afternoon showers that could get on the stronger side rather than it being a linear front moving through the area. Again, it can, just not as much as it does in the spring and fall. That's why those are our severe weather seasons. As we get into our Tuesday, you can see that level 1 threat along those coastal areas of Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. So you know anyone that went to the beach for 4th of July week and weekend, make sure to let them know Tuesday is going to be a busy day down there in the coast. Here in North Mississippi, we're just on the outskirts, so it's not impossible to get a pop-up shower but the severe weather threat should remain towards our south, along and south of I-20, including parts of southern Alabama and southern Mississippi. We're 82 degrees in Clarksdale, feels like 95. It is 9 o'clock. I keep having to look at the clock to make sure that it is the exact time, because 95 degrees, feeling that way at 9 o'clock is just unreal, but unfortunately a reality we have to face in Mississippi around this time of year. Maybe a little bit more cloud cover. That's not really doing much for those temperatures. We're still 82 degrees, feels like 97, so clouds or no clouds, still going to be pretty warm, muggy, and unfortunately feeling a little bit overwhelming in the moisture category overnight. 84 degrees in Fulton. Folks busy along 22 and 25, but it's the summer forecast, so of course folks are wanting to get as active as possible and continue to enjoy some of those late evening plans. 81 degrees by 11, 77 by 2, and early hours of our Tuesday sitting in the mid-70s. So as we go into the start of the day, not expecting any rainfall. Again, like we just tracked, this is all elevated, and if we do have any moisture, it's that Mississippi mugginess that we're getting rather than it actually being rainfall produced all the way to the ground. Continuing into the start of our Tuesday, we stay dry, like I mentioned, so the morning commute, no need to worry about any of those windshield wipers going, and don't need to grab the umbrella heading out the door. It will still be warm and muggy. We're talking 75 degrees Houston and Tupelo, 75 Greenwood and Grenada, 75 Tunica, South Haven, and Senatobia. So it's going to be muggy, and that translates into a toasty afternoon. Our pool day forecast brought to you by the folks there at IMPC, definitely showing that off. 82 by 8, 95 by noon, 98 towards the afternoon. Now, we are not record-setting, but it's still well above average, and the chance of rain sitting at about 10%. This is what we're going to track out together using our latest version of Futurecast. Our HRRR model coming in at the 9 o'clock hour, so let's go ahead and assess this together. As we head across the mid to late morning, not tracking any rainfall, saw that at 5 and 6, continuing to see that at the 9 o'clock hour. But getting into the afternoon, one of the things we did see was some spotty shower activity, and this actually pretty consistent from our earlier model run. That's not going to be something that's seen too often as we go about that summer forecast. A large part of these rain chances like to be sporadic, but all signs indicating northwest Alabama getting that 10% chance, and the rest of North Mississippi, not a lot in the coverage department. Maybe moving across the state line, but that's really it when we're talking about any chance of rainfall. So if you're in Water Valley, Grenada, Winona, Kosciuszko, and anywhere west of there, your chances are lower than 10%. Where we expect those chances to be is along the Alabama and Mississippi state line. So I did see some folks there in the chat. Let me pull that up here real quick because I did see that, 1 in a million? Did he say rain tomorrow? Limited, but that's if you're along the Alabama state line. So not really tracking much for us here in North Mississippi, at least not just yet. Let me bring it back full screen and let's go ahead and jump into those high temperatures because this is the story. 99 Amory, 99 Tupelo, 99 Vernon and Hamilton, even 99 New Albany. Folks, it's going to be hot. 99 in Corinth should tell you everything you need to know. That's our northernmost county, and usually it gets cooler the further north you go. Not the case here, and that shows that Mississippi heat moving in full force, and the feels like values definitely making it feel much worse. We're 105 to 110, including some spots trying to get above that 110 threshold, and that's where extreme heat warnings start to become a possibility. I would say Tuesday very well could see a few areas get up to that threshold, but National Weather Service electing to just issue those heat advisories doesn't really make much of a difference in my mind, because what it does say is we need to be monitoring those heat-related concerns, those heat-related illnesses, and unfortunately the potential for deaths in our area because of the heat. So stay safe, check on those most vulnerable. We're going to go over some of those tips coming up tonight at 10. Getting into those overnight hours, we continue to see those mostly clear conditions and no chance of rainfall. So another beautiful night here in North Mississippi, and those temperatures will continue to cool off and be a little bit more comfortable. But as we get into our Wednesday morning, this is what we're going to be monitoring for as additional rain chances are on the horizon. So we'll see the warm and muggy start once again on Wednesday. 77 Tupelo, Boonville, and Corinth, 77 Greenwood, Cleveland, and Clarksdale, and those feels like values going to be well above that threshold as well, and only going up as the day goes on. That sunshine going to be shining brightly, but even our Futurecast on our HRRR model indicating some showers, including some heavier showers south of 82 and east of 45 out there towards northwest Alabama and portions of Winston and Knoxville County as well. But our HRRR model is doing what I expected it to do. Be a little bit lower on the rainfall coverage, but adding to some of those chances by the afternoon. So this is where that 20 to, honestly, latest version of HRRR might up that to 30 but we're going to see impactful rainfall, impactful storms out there towards Noxubee and Pickens County. This is the area that we were looking at with that level 1 severe weather risk. And you can see down towards where that risk is issued, plenty of thunderstorm activity, and a few of those going to be on the stronger side, with us just being on the outskirts. If we were to see any strong storms, that's going to be towards Pickens and Noxubee County, and models indicating that as well. So I think that level 1 risk will hold firm, potentially moving a little bit more towards the north and west to include the southeast sections of our coverage area. But that's really where I'd keep it, because once we start getting into the late afternoon and early evening, these storms should remain below severe limits, but still be impactful with heavy rainfall and lightning. So rain chances are definitely increasing. My confidence is increasing on this latest version of Futurecast. In fact, I think we can go ahead and bump up those percentages for our Tuesday as we start to get some of our Wednesday, as we get some of those high resolution models in. And that's pretty consistent with where we were sitting at even into our 5 and 6 o'clock hour with our strike model. So both of our short range models kind of in agreement in regards to what we're seeing there. So as we look at high temperatures Wednesday, this is where the welcome sight will be in play. We'll need to monitor this, because if we get increased rain chances, especially during that peak heating time frame, it's going to limit how much we do warm up. Yes, triple digits are on the table, but depending on when those showers move in, that could bring some of that rain-cooled air a little bit quicker, and that'll limit how high these temperatures do get. But if we stay dry, we're upper 90s, feeling like 105 plus, even 113 towards Clarksdale, and I think that will be a reality getting out towards northwest Mississippi on our Wednesday afternoon, because those showers are moving from east to west, so it takes a little bit longer. That means rain-cooled air not going to be a factor until later on in the day. But as we look ahead towards our firework forecast this weekend, we're going to be 96 Friday, 96 Saturday, and 95 there by Sunday. You see Saturday, chance at a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's a reality, unfortunately, and that's going to be on our July 4th holiday. So make sure to get those fireworks in when we get those windows of opportunity, but we'll definitely need to be watching our Mama Justice Doppler radar as we approach this weekend, and we'll continue to fine-tune that forecast. But you can see the weekend looking a little bit more active, still pretty isolated, but looking a little bit more active than our 3-day stretch. But like we just talked about, Wednesday, I went ahead and up to 30% because of those evening showers and thunderstorms, including what I believe a limited strong storm threat. I don't think we're talking about a widespread outbreak, but I do believe, we'll have a few strong storms trying to move in that may get up to severe limits, but still remains to be seen. But that's going to be for around Noxubee, Pickens, maybe out towards Winston County. So we'll continue to assess that here with the latest. And we'll go ahead, I'll go ahead and get it in the show for 10 o'clock. We're going to use our triple threat to look at those potential impacts, including some of those gusty winds, maybe some small hail development, and of course, heavy rainfall and lightning also a factor as well. So coming up at 10, we're going to look at the latest on that, and we'll let you guys know the very latest. So make sure to tune in there for the very latest. Pull up chat one more time. I see Patty watching from Corinth. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me see. It's hot. Can we get some rain and a little wind, please? Hey, Wednesday looking better. That's what I will say. So unfortunately, it does mean a few of us will have to stay in and let those rain chances pass. But if it brings cooler air, I don't think anyone's complaining. Pontotoc up there, Sandra mentioning there. And I want to see Justin. I just know we need a good old-fashioned all-day steady rainfall like back in the olden days. I don't think anyone's going to complain with that one. That'll definitely make it feel a little bit more bearable. So I think we do get rain chances by Wednesday, and I think we're going to get a pretty impactful rainfall as well. So we're going to continue to monitor that, and we'll look at our triple threat coming up tonight at 10 for any of those impactful weather conditions. That coming up on the Mississippi Live Weather app. So give that a download for the very latest information. Coming up on 1 year of coverage here in North Mississippi. Wow, it's flown by, and what a journey it's been, and we're adding even more to it as we enter into our 1 year anniversary. So exciting news. Excited for midweek this week. So you'll want to stay tuned for that as we introduce news here to Mississippi Live. Taking out the weather. I guess it's just Mississippi Live from now on as we enter all the different categories of coverage here in North Mississippi. But it's exciting. And we're going to keep our same coverage time, 5, 6, 9, and 10. So that means 10 o'clock tonight, we're going to be looking at our triple threat, keeping that schedule going. And then as we head into the morning, our meteorologist Caleb Edelblut filling in for our meteorologist Maggie McCauley. He'll be live at 6:37 and 7:30 right here from the Room to Room Weather Center. So keep it here for the very latest.
You've asked for it, and now it's here. In 2 days, we launch Mississippi Live News. And I'll give you 0 guesses on who's joining me. Can't wait to bring you local news that matters.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.